Heinle is very happy to meet Queen Navier in Warwhirl. He intentionally went to this region upon hearing Navier will visit it. Meeting her is not coincidence but intentional, but he did not accept they will met at a restaurant. He was very ecstatic that he was being proposed. But the mood changes when he realized that the marriage is to Empress Navier is only a marriage of convenience to satisfy the noble's impatience and McKenna's nagging. Heinle was saddened that there was no mention of love in the proposal, but he was glad they have the opportunity to become close. Navier recalls her agreement with Heinle, which involved her becoming queen and Heinle receiving her experience as a ruler. However, she feel regret about the potential scandal and the potential for political alliances. But if Heinle didn't change his mind, she need to make her best effort to help him rule his kingdom. The Empress feels hollowed out as she walk with a knight to balance her composure. She realized that she likes Soviesha more than she thought, but admitting it doesn't make a difference. She don't intend to stay with him. Countess Eliza announced that the Empress' brother, Lord Kosher, has been banished by the Emperor. Despite her feelings for Sovieshu, she struggles to find a way to protect her family. She already knew that it will happen, but not sudden. She answered Countess Eliza that she will send money and letters to Lord Kosher. She noticed that her things were not in order, indicating that there are intruders. She asked the maids who clean the room and the night guards, but they don't notice anyone. However, they remember, a collective summons was issued by the Knight Commander. The intruder may have taken Heinle's letters, as Soviesha would use any means to divorce her. The Emperor asked about Warwhirl. She answered that Evely will still attend the Magic Academy, though she doesn't have mana anymore. Soviesha criticizes her for not intervening in her decision, stating that it was best for her to give up. The Empress believes it is Evely who decides whether it was her way or not. The Empress questioned if he had searched her room, but she was questioned if she was hiding something. He snorted and walked away. He returned with a box containing letters with Heinle which he had stolen. The Empress picked out the letters, and Soviesha snatched the fourth one, burning them. The Emperor asked why she feigns ignorance when Rashta was mocked because of Heinle. She insists Rashta lied about being Prince Heinle's friend and that the other way around. She wonders what Sovieshu's mind is thinking and realizes it is not worth arguing with him. The Empress is about to exit the dining hall, but Soviesha confronts her, accusing her of using messenger birds for letters and ordering knights to shoot birds. He told her that he is her husband and he has the right to say something about the matter. She admits she is her husband, but Soviesha is not her lover. She wonders why Soviesha burned evidence with his own hands that he can use to find a reason to divorce her. When the Empress arrived in her room, she asked Countess Eliza to bring her a red cloth, symbolizing danger, as Soviesha threatened to shoot birds. Despite feeling gloomy, she tries to prevent birds from dying. She believes that a bird of the West knows the significance of a red flag. McKenna was surprised to hear the news from Heinle. Empress Navier is set to become the Queen of the Western Kingdom, a surprising development considering her rule-following nature. Heinle wonders if Emperor Sovieshu is about to divorce her. McKenna questions if the proposal was genuine. Heinle confirms his wholehearted acceptance. Heinle plans to start a war against the Eastern Empire, but warns McKenna that it won't be easy. Heinle admits that he cannot make an empress a queen, but he is happy with the plan. The Western Kingdom's people feel inferior to the Eastern Empire, and discontent is expected to grow. Heinle promises to deliver a letter to Empress Navier, despite the challenges. A secretary informs Heinle of news from a spy in the Eastern Empire about the banished of Empress Navier's brother, Kosher from the Troby family. Heinle requests to find the Empress's brother and bring him to him. McKenna noticed a red cloth hanging from a window. He thought that it symbolizes good fortune, as it means an Eastern Empire. He wondered if Empress Navier had feelings for King Heinle. Suddenly, a piercing ache touched his body, causing him to fall down. The Empress is anticipating a letter from Heinle. She look at the window and spot a red stain on the wall below the window. She suspect the bird may have been hurt, as Soviesha warned against shooting birds near the window. She searched through the Western Palace gardens, but find no birds. She hears a noise from the parlor room and finds a large round plate with a silver lid. The servant reveals that the Emperor ordered a roast bird to be delivered to her. The Empress is filled with disgust as she sees the blue feathers on the bird and the smell of spices. The ladies in waiting hurriedly call for a doctor, as she was shocked at the sight of the bird. Rashta encounters a small bird with blue feathers. She wonders if it was hunted down, as hunting is prohibited in the palace. She realizes she's seen a blue bird with Duke LG before. The bird opens its eyes and cries, and a note is tied to its leg. Rashta wonders if it's Duke Elgi's messenger, and reads it while walking to the Duke's room. Rashta delivered a letter to Duke Elgi, and told him she found the letter tied. Duke Elgi hurriedly took the blue bird and poured liquor on it, causing the bird to screech and writhe in pain. He stopped and turned to Rashta apologetically, confirming that it was the Duke's bird and asked to left alone. The Empress woke up, finding Soviesha beside her and grabs her hand, and she remembers the events of the previous day. Soviesha calls for a palace doctor, but she refuses. She pushes him away and demands to be left and not called by her name. The Empress is angry by the act of a bird being roasted and sent to her as a warning. Soviesha confesses that it was a different bird, but she didn't believe his lies as she saw blue feathers on the sill and blood under the window. She was angry and upset with Soviesha and told him to get out of her room and decides to tell Heinle about what happened and think of a way to contact him. She decides to go see Duke Elgi, who is Heinle's, and inform him of the circumstances. She takes Sir Artina with her, who is concerned about her health. They arrive at Duke Elgi's room, where the Empress has to speak privately. She hears a faint groan and a voice of pain, and notice a blue feather, only to find Heinle's assistant, McKenna, lying naked in the room. The Empress questions why McKenna, Heinle's closest aide and knight, is lying naked in Duke Elgi's bed. She asks why McKenna is there, but McKenna panics and opens his mouth, unsure of what to say. Duke Elgi was also surprised when she saw the Empress. McKenna apologized and tried to explain that it was a misunderstanding and he was injured on an errand for King Heinle. She asks if he can call a doctor for McKenna, but McKenna refuses and Duke Elgi asks the Empress to come back again. Navier asked Duke Elgi if he's still friend with Heinle, but he only laughed. She told Duke Elgi to convey a word to Heinle that his blue bird is dead and will die in the future. The Empress is disturbed by the unusual timing of McKenna's injuries. She wonders if it's a coincidence, as a person couldn't change into something else. The next day, Laura informs her that Duke Elgi was seen hugging an injured bird. She is suspicious, as McKenna was in the palace on an errand for Heinle. She consults the court mage. The court mage explains that a person can't change their form with magic, but he mentions a record of the bird-headed tribe, which is not well known. The mage dismisses this claim, stating that the tribe members are gone and their numbers have diminished. He also added that if any of the tribe members would be alive, they wouldn't reveal themselves. The Empress is unsure if McKenna is the bird or if he and the bird were injured simultaneously. If he is indeed the blue bird, she should be happy, but concerned about being unbecoming in front of this bird. But she didn't do something shameful. However, she realized that she had done shameful in front of Queen. Remembering this, horror strike her.